Japan?
Hard to know. I think Melbourne, especially on the Inters, was a very good, a good race and good show of pace. But like you said, managing the tyres. I think Japan, if we had track position, potentially the race could have looked quite different. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously it's very hot today. I think Sunday's supposed to be a little bit cooler, but I think it being a little bit more difficult on tyres and a bit warmer probably will be more friendly for us than others, I hope.
So two ways of seeing the situation. One pole, one win, 3 podiums, leader of the championship, but on the other end, only 1 point in front of Max. So what's your analysis?
Yeah, it's been a good start. It's still leading. Of course, good things have been slightly better, yes, but they're not. Max and Red Bull have done a good job with a car that they say they've been struggling with. But for the same case, we know our struggles. We know how tricky our car is to drive. It's quick, and we acknowledge all of these things and the stuff people say. But we've also made some mistakes, and we know we have to improve in certain areas. But it's still a long season. We're at round 3 or round 4 now, so we're not getting ahead of ourselves. But we also know we have a long way to go. We have a lot of work we need to do still on this car before we can focus on next year. I guess I've had some great results, especially in the main races. Of course, I lost a few points and a few in the sprint race in China. So, it's been a good start, but there's still plenty of opportunities for us to improve and still to do better than we've been doing. We need to do better because, like you said, Max is close behind, and I'm sure he's going to be behind and close behind for...
At the moment, it's very difficult to say. I think if you look at everything so far, they are more all-round, and it just seems like it's a bit easier to set up as well. But still a very long season, a lot of things that we want to work on anyway with the car, and hopefully step by step we just make it more competitive.
Sure. The championship battle is very tight, only 1 point, 3 different winners in 3 races, but the last 2 Grand Prix were not extremely exciting. Can you explain how we can be so close, but still not being able to really race each other?
Sometimes it can be track layout, sometimes can be because of the tires overheating, so when you get close it's very hard to pass. And naturally, of course, when a lot of cars are similar in pace, and especially when it's between teammates, it's very hard to pass. It is. I think that is always, people want to see close competition, but when you get close competition, it's harder to pass. That's how it is.
Quite calm and relaxed in your home Grand Prix, but of course the environment here be quieter, maybe easier to manage. So what's your approach for this weekend and your goal?
I think same. The also approach what I took in the last week, start of the week was exactly same how I also approached in VCARB. That kind of approach made me better driver throughout the year, even able to make a step even compared to last year. So I knew there's a good approach and good baseline that I can perform. Last week was exactly the same I did. Just a different car, and no idea how the car behaves, but at least now I know a little bit more, so it'd be easier to take similar approach, or the approach I wanted to take in the end. Yeah.
Yuki, what a week it was for you.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I can imagine. What did all happen to you, and were you able to sort of put things together on Monday, Tuesday, and what was the biggest learning last weekend?
Biggest learning, too much things to learn yet, but yeah, a lot of learning I did, but most of the learning I had it's too early stages to conclude. So I've just done 4 or 5 sessions, almost 4 sessions because of lots of red flag. I just need to do more laps and laps. But main learning was I would say the in terms of car, the setup, I would say. Maybe I have to take a little bit different approach, how I used to take in the V Cup, in terms of like the setup I used to like, you know, like how the car balance looks. I think is with the car able to achieve same balance that I used to have in V Cup, but just it's not always where helps performance. You know what I mean? So yeah, just have to dig in farther. Just not know yet. What exactly setup will make that car faster.
From what we've seen so far, it's been a tricky start to the season for Ferrari. We know last year as well, there were tricky moments too, and we heard that you found an answer back in Maranello and it's going to come to the track. What's the feeling right now? Where does the team feel it's much of a challenge is it going to be to get a podium or even a win this weekend, or is that in your sights now?
New bits on the car coming, which I hope will help us to close that bit. Whether it will be enough to close the complete gap, I don't think so. I don't think that there's that in what we are bringing here, but I hope it will help us to at least be closer. But it's still quite a significant step. I mean, in Suzuka, I think that this was the gap that there is between McLaren and ourselves, which is 0.3, and we need to work very hard in order to catch that. So that's what we are doing, and I'm confident that we can close that gap. Whether, again, what we are bringing here, I don't think will be enough, but hopefully short term we'll have other things that will help us to be close.
It's great to hear that you've got that new component for this weekend, because I know you saying it cost you about a tenth. In terms of what you're expecting this weekend, I know it's only been a couple of days since Japan, but the learnings that you've got from testing, how the car's really stepped on since then, what are you kind of expecting this weekend?
Well, I've done quite a bit of driving since the test that we had here, so should be a lot more comfortable in the car than I was through testing here. And yeah, we've got an upgrade, I've got a better understanding of the setup, so hopefully should bode well for a better weekend.
We see you calm despite the problem and the scenarios that I think you imagined different. Where does this tranquility come from?
I don't know, I guess it comes probably with age.
Maybe something inside the team that we don't know, obviously. Maybe something inside the team that we don't know, obviously, too.
Like I have obviously self-belief. I don't listen to all the stuff that's floating around. I'm on social media. I'm not reading all the stuff, the positives and the negatives that are being said. I'm not being controlled by necessarily by outside forces within society. I focus on myself. I listen to my music. I do my job. I know how to arrive and do and to work with people, and I'm working at getting better every day. And so I don't stress about the stuff that
McLaren, Lewis with Ferrari, Verstappen, and all that, but not so much about a very consistent guy, always in the pond, fourth in the championship, best of the rest. Are you surprised by that, and more confident than the other years to be able to fight for something really impressive in the championship?
I mean, being P4 in the championship is not very noteworthy, so it's not a surprise to me. You know, you want to hear about the guys winning, and at the moment, we've been consistent and we've always been in the top 5. But we need to find a little bit more, and I'm very happy with the performances that I've shown this year, and we've maximised almost all of the races. But we need to find a bit more pace if we want to fight for a championship, and realistically. At the moment, we know we're not quite in that battle with the McLarens.
Keep the positive trend. Keep improving the qualifying pace, because I think the speed is there, but it's more about being able to put all the dots together, starting from the warm up and then the lap itself. But yeah, keep the positive trend, and then obviously hard, and then we'll see what the result's gonna be on Sunday.